Third old fashioned, everybody. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. All right.
A little,
So
little bonus content for everybody.
yeah, if we can keep Jesse from getting a little too inebriated, we're gonna have some
Just
good conversation at this one.
By the end of the podcast, I'm just like
falling out of his chair.
you're like, Jesse, you okay?
Or he's gonna be like talking real close to his mic the whole time.
We'll be texting Sam, hey, go get your brother, get him to bed.
I'm just like, so guys, I've been trying to tell you the earth is flat. Okay, the earth is flat. Get really into it.
You figured out where the monoliths come from.
That's what I was
right.
gonna say.
That's right.
I thought he was gonna say I'm the one that put it there.
I like how it all just disappeared, which obviously was just like an art stunt, right?
Mhm.
But you never heard who put it in. Nobody came out to say, yeah, we did it. It's just funny that monolith thing just disappeared.
Hey, did we see? I might get into this subject too much, but did y'all see where that art sold for like 68 million last week? It was like I don't know what the hell it's called. It's like computer art. So it's like digital illustrated art.
Oh,
68 million?
It was something insane. We gotta look it up and figure it out. It's unbelievable.
What? What was it up? What
some
did it
kinda-
look like?
it's like a whole thing now. I was listening to a
Yeah.
Gary V podcast the other day, and they were talking all about it.
Oh, is it NFT? Is that what you're talking about?
NFT or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out because that's been all over my Facebook for everything business related is NFTs. NFTs. What does NFT stand for?
I was gonna say I don't even know what it means.
I have no idea.
We gotta look that
I feel
up.
a little dumb right now. Probably too old for this.
NFT meaning
All
is
right.
the number one Google search. All right.
I'm sure it is.
It's a non-fungible token. So it would be like
So-
cryptocurrency.
right. I was
That's
gonna say I
basically a
think
certificate of authenticity.
So
so
It
how do they make
says-
art out of that?
it says the digital artists. Wait a minute. Until October, the artist known as Beeple had sold a print for $100. That was the most he's ever sold a print for. Today, an NFT of his artwork sold, and this is whenever this article was, for $69 million.
Hmm.
So before that, he had only sold a piece of art for $100.
Oh my
And then he
gosh.
sold one for 69 million.
Follow your dreams, kids.
That's crazy. Can I see? Can we bring up the piece of art?
It
What
says
looks like?
that
Sam,
Sam's gonna have to figure it.
Sam, put it on the overlay.
Jamie,
I wanna see-
Jamie, bring it up.
if you
Jamie,
have
bring
it, if you have that artwork, can you please send that to me? I want to see what it looks like.
This puts this guy among the top 3 most valuable living artists.
What's his
Currently.
name?
Oh my gosh.
What's
That's
the name of
crazy.
the person?
Beeple, Beeple. It's
I'd
the
love
artist
it.
known
That is
known
not
as
how I was
Beeple.
spelling it.
I love that he has this like it's basically his Xbox username. You know, that's what he goes by.
It's exactly what it is.
You know, it's the same thing. If you look up Beeple, he's playing Minecraft right now.
Yes. War of Warcraft is Beeple.
It's like what?
Huh.
I can't
That's
say
crazy.
World of Warcraft without thinking about Leroy Jenkins.
I know that's right. That or the South Park episode.
The South Park's all I ever think about.
Yeah, South
Wow,
Park. That's
this
one of
is-
the best episodes.
This is interesting.
Is that it?
No, that's
Just-
Ocean Spray. That's from the
But
bunch
it
of
is an
skateboarders.
NFT.
I just couldn't see it.
I don't understand. I understand it to a point. I've been listening to Gary V, which I actually really do like Gary V in a lot of ways
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to business and marketing and stuff like that. So if you're listening and you don't follow him and you're trying to get into social media stuff more and more, Gary V's a good source. He knows how to build a very engaging audience across pretty much every platform. I like him. He's cool.
A little explicit, but it's fine.
Yeah, he drops the F word about every other word,
Yeah.
but he doesn't.
But he owns it. I like it.
He
Yeah.
does own it, and it's not in like a Tory way where he's actually trying to like talk negatively on anybody.
No.
It's just that's the way he
Just being
talks.
real.
Yeah,
But I did notice when I was looking for podcasts the other day, there's a podcast and it says Gary V, and I think it's the G-rated version or the clean version or something like that. So he
Oh,
has
really?
like a
It's all bleeped out.
I didn't listen to it. I'm assuming it is.
Huh.
But he's really good. But he talks about NFTs all the time, and I still don't fully understand it. I should probably understand it. If seems like everybody's talking about it, and that's what a lot of like currency is going to be. Like people are going to be buying them a lot, and I still don't fully understand it. So
I'm pretty sure Ethereum is an NFT, but I could be wrong.
well, what is
Ethereum?
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's like a see, I don't even know. I own it and I don't even know fully what it is.
Yeah. I was waiting for this elaborate explanation.
It's not a cryptocurrency.
Brandon just laughed at himself.
Because it's hard. I don't know how to explain it. It's basic, as far as I can tell, it's like a system that transfers cryptocurrency. Like it's the vehicle to move cryptocurrency or store it. Like
I got you.
It's something like that, like an e-commerce type thing.
Yeah, it's an easy way to transfer like a Bitcoin from me to you.
Sure.
Type thing.
We'll say that.
It's like Venmo for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, see, I'm not even sure it's that. It's something like that, though.
He's like, yeah, this guy sold me crystal. I'm not sure what it is, but he said it's pretty valuable. Yeah. He gave me this little baggie. There's not much in it, but I paid $50 for it.
I'm gonna try to trade it in at Home Depot for some lumber.
The guy at the store gave me 2x4s and said, "Yeah, this is about equal cost nowadays."
Can you accept?
See what they'd give me for it?
Like, I wonder, can we accept Bitcoin for plans on our websites? You think we can do that?
Ooh.
My tax guy told me I could pay him in Bitcoin.
You're like, that's great. Don't have it.
Right?
I don't know if we talked about enough. This. Do you guys hear about the story where there's a guy that has 10,000 Bitcoins on a computer?
Yes. We didn't talk about it, but I know what you're about to say.
And he has only like, I think 2 passwords. JP got all dark, but he only has 2 passwords left. You have 10 tries for Bitcoin to remember your password. He bought them like right when Bitcoin started. He bought 10,000 Bitcoins, and then at the end of the or whatever, he can't remember his password. But since nobody really runs Bitcoin, right? There's no like overlord of Bitcoin that can help you with your password. If you don't remember your password, you're pretty much screwed. And anyway, so he's tried 8 times and has gotten 8 times he's missed his password. He has 2 more times, and technically his Bitcoins are worth $2.5 million currently, or no, 25 million or something like that.
A lot.
Yeah, it's worth a shit ton.
Yeah. It's 60 basically grand a piece right now. So.
Like at some point, wouldn't you just be like, man, I'm not gonna even guess and just know that I own $25 million, then lose it all?
Yeah, I guess. What good is it, though, if you can't get to it?
But what are you gonna do?
There's a lot of stories like that out there.
Oh, it's so sad. Well, I know, like, I don't know if you know who Tim Pool is. I listen to Tim Pool quite a bit. Tim Pool is what? Yeah, so he's an independent journalist, but he bought Dogecoin back when it was like 1 Dogecoin meant it was like 0.009 like cents.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It wasn't even 1 cent, but he bought a bunch of it, and it's on a laptop somewhere. He's like, I don't know where it's at, but I bought it because because apparently that Dogecoin started as a meme.
It's a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke, and now it's actually whatever. It's gained steam or whatever.
Yeah, well, all the stock, all the bros, they call them, the GameStop bros. They're what drove it up. Yep. And even the guy that created it's like, this was a joke. Why are you buying this?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Someone was talking about cryptocurrency. It's weird that we're on this topic, but whatever. He's talking about cryptocurrency, and it's kind of a good point. If you buy cryptocurrency, it's always going to have worth because you can always trade it for something else. So it's not like it's like a stock where it's a business where the business goes out of like if you
it's
GameStop
value hold.
Yeah, it holds value.
What do they call it? Value something. It's like gold, basically.
Yeah, like
you're
it's
putting
always
money into it, thinking that you're going to get inflation.
Yes, but it's always going to be worth something compared to like if you put stock into a business and the business can go out of business and now it's worth nothing. Yeah. It's pretty interesting though. I thought it was a good point. And I own 0 cryptocurrency, and I do not do Robinhood or Webull or anything like that. Well, I probably won't be doing Robinhood ever, but Webull or what?
I said, yeah, don't do Robinhood. But if you do Webull, use my link because you can get free stocks. And
he's like, it's in the podcast description.
We'll put that in the show notes. I have it on my private Instagram account as my link.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So in that realm of things, in the last podcast, we were talking about websites, and we kind of cut it off. I said we were going to talk about it more on this one.
Wait,
what?
Hold on. Okay. Ethereum is a decentralized open source blockchain featuring smart contract functionality. Does that help you? Because you
get 0 credit for that. You just read it off of something.
I did, because I was like, I don't want people screaming at their speakers like, you guys are idiots. That's not what it is.
Yeah. So you said
of the 300 people that listen to this podcast, I bet 2 of them knew what that was. And if I'm wrong, shoot me a comment.
Ether is the native cryptocurrency of the platform. So Ether is the cryptocurrency of Ethereum. And it is the second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization after Bitcoin. So there you go.
I've never heard of either of those. So whatever. I've heard of Bitcoin, not Ether or the platform you're saying. But whatever.
Ethereum. Yeah. Oh, dude, there's so many cryptocurrencies. There's a lot.
Well, it's weird because you can just make it up.
Right.
And then it's like, now there's a new one.
Yeah.
By the way, if you want to go invest into the go build something cryptocurrency, it is now available. Showing up.
JP's face is our coin.
Yeah, that's right. We had to pick the oldest person that looked the closest like a president, and so like none of us. Yeah,
go ahead, try it. People be getting tattoos like Joe Rogan.
The third eye.
So that'll be a hand plane right on my forehead.
Yeah, that's right.
Hockey puck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. With the real information. Go ahead.
Websites. Yeah, we're talking about websites. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of in the same realm of stuff, right?
Sure. Internet.
You got to be smart to do them, right?
Yeah, you just did
Not
a
the
hard.
ones I do.
Yeah.
I think we all use Squarespace. What do you use, JP? Do you use Squarespace?
Squarespace. Yeah.
We all do.
I've never used anything other than.
Yeah. I've used others. I've used Weebly and Wix. It's basically all the same thing.
Yes,
really.
But I find Squarespace, if you want it to be the faster setup and less time consuming, I felt like Squarespace was less time consuming. I felt like Wix, I just felt like Wix, every time I'd set up a website, it felt like a 1990s website. Like it was not super, it might have been functional, but it wasn't very good looking. It wasn't pleasing to like actually go on to the website. And my new website, I actually really, really like. It's for me, it's simple, but it actually looks aesthetically pleasing. So I'm a big fan of Squarespace.
Yeah, I like it.
A few websites on it.
I like it just because I'm able to use it. Yeah. I can actually go in there and do stuff without any knowledge. I have to fight around and Google some stuff or go to YouTube or whatever, but ended up figuring it out. It's pretty user friendly. Now let's say using your website for an example, start to finish. Cause I paid somebody to, kind of get Squarespace going and set me up a template. And then I kind of did everything from there on my website. So I didn't go through like that setup process initial and all that. Mm-hmm. Jesse, for you, how long did it take you like from getting your website and getting it completely set up to a usable site? How many hours do you think it took you to do that?
Probably like less than 8.
Yeah.
To be completely honest. Yeah. It wasn't like, it was spread out over like a week because you get that 14-day trial, which is nice. So you get to kind of play around with it and you get to publish it for whatever. And it's nice, but I got it done within that first week or so. And I just spent a couple hours here and there setting up the home page and kind of, for us, we don't need a lot, right? I mean, I know that JP or Brandon runs all his stuff all his plans out of Gumroad, you can run them off of Squarespace because
I think I'm
Squarespace.
gonna switch it.
Are you?
I run mine off of Squarespace. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you got to pay a little bit more per month, but
do you?
Well, I got to pay Gumroad anyway.
Right.
Well,
yeah, that's
percentage
right.
of the sales.
Which I don't know how much you should. What I would do if I were you is look at the math of how much money you have to pay more per month plus.
But the other upside to that
fees.
is something you probably shouldn't say out loud, but I could put ads on that page. So
well, no, that's good though. I mean,
so if those are on my site, that's just another page that I can stick ads on and possibly make a little bit of money, or maybe even just break even as far as the fees for selling the plan. So that's the reason I want to swap it over. Plus, then people aren't clicking away from my website, which helps with SEO and all that, you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Supposedly, I know zero about SEO, but I'm told that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I have that clicks away from my website is apparel and
YouTube.
Like all my social media stuff.
Yeah.
I have all of my social media stuff is a click away.
Right.
I don't have it set up on like the page itself. It just takes you over to whatever that is. Everything else I keep internal. But I need to update mine. I need to do a little bit of work on it and make it a little more modern. Use some of the features that they have. Mine's really, really basic. There's no like cool scroll features, you know, where you scroll, but the background stays the same kind of stuff, or there's nothing of that. It's very, very, very basic, which I liked, but it needs to be updated a little bit more. So that's something I'm gonna start working on here pretty soon and getting that going. But again, we talked about this before. I'm terrible creatively, like coming up with stuff and like designing a website or designing, you know, anything like that. Like I'm just terrible.
Too.
I'm terrible at it.
Same.
But I don't know, you know, I fight my way through it and make it right. But it's one of those things like you don't want to pay somebody to do it. So you just kind of fight through it and do it yourself. And then in the end of it, you're like, God, I spent a lot of time doing that. I should have just paid somebody to do that.
Except for I've gone down the other route where I've like paid people and then they do a crappy job. And I'm like, why
right.
did I pay this and then trying to find somebody that's what you're looking for. Like when you think about it, you're like, oh, just jump on Upwork or Fiverr and just like find somebody to do it. But the problem is when you get on there, everybody's like resume, whatever you want to call it, their bio is so broad that it's hard to like earlier I was like, oh, maybe I could find somebody to make my YouTube thumbnails. And you get on there and then it's like, well, what do you search for? Like nobody has in their bio, like I make YouTube thumbnails, you know, they're like, I'm a graphic designer. And then I've noticed like with that, you guys know I hired that lady to try to write a blog post just because I'm not a good writer. And so I've learned to outsource things that I'm not good at. I'm like, dude. And so I paid this lady like $30, right? To do this blog post. And you guys read it, and I sent it to like Sam at
I'm gonna try
DIY Hundred. She was like, "Oh my god, it was horrible."
I'm gonna try to.
She was like super highly rated for blog post writing, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I guess you know to her. I don't know. It sucked.
Don't try to
stop, JP. Don't. It was so bad.
It sucked. I couldn't. I was gonna try to say maybe in a different genre or not like not woodworking or something. It would be
like
okay.
A novel from the 1800s.
But I'm not sure that was even true.
It was bad.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's like the same thing as like when I was a kid and I was like, oh, when I grow up and I make a bunch of money, I'm just going to pay people to do things. And then like, good luck trying to find a contractor that actually does a good job, you know, not busy 100% of the time. Like it's not as easy as it sounds to just hire somebody to do something.
Right. Yeah. And I wonder, like, I know some of those bigger name, like YouTubers and stuff like that, hire people to do their videos or whatever. And they're extremely elaborate and they have the graphics and the cuts and all that stuff. And I wonder how much involved like the YouTuber is with the making of that video.
Right.
Like, or is they just found somebody who knows to be extremely creative and play towards their style of videos or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I continuously
pay for it because it's built by time typically. And the more extravagant it is, the more time it takes.
Yeah.
I was looking for that paragraph. That was the best paragraph in the entire world. And I
Enchanted?
can't find it. Yeah.
She used the word enchanted.
Yeah,
That's really all we need to say.
It was the best.
In a woodworking blog.
I was absolutely dying.
She used the word enchanted on a woodworking blog about an air tool cubby.
Trying to find your tools.
Oh my gosh. I was laughing so hard. I was like, this is
funny.
I was like, this is the best. You should definitely hire her.
She was like, well, I was like committed to paying her either way. And so she was like, what'd you think? I was like, oh yeah, it's great. I'll hit you up when I need another one. Never.
Yep. Oh, so funny.
I need a new, or I say I don't need it. I want a new like intro and outro on my YouTube videos. But if I went to hire somebody right now and they'd be like, well, what are you looking for? What am like, I don't know.
Here's something
different.
here's something that Sam will be like, don't say this on the podcast, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So he's like, some edited JP's last video, and he's like, the intro, he's like, yeah, I went and watched the thing, and he changed the intro out after I edited it. He's like, kind of makes sense because the first intro is kind of like, the desk was really high, and so he had like he's like, he legit looked like a child. Like he looked like a child. He's like, what's up, guys? I'm here to teach you something,
Make a cigar ashtray.
Yeah. Well, I was
like, this
trying
kid's 15.
to
What is he? Why is he can't be smoking cigars.
I was in my wood shop and I was using my workbench, but I had the only chair I had in there was really low for a workbench. But I couldn't like stand up and like awkwardly hold a ashtray like a pizza or something,
You're like squatting down all weird.
I was trying to figure out how to shoot that. So
over.
yeah, as soon as he sent it back to me and I watched it, I was like, that's terrible. That's gotta be reshot. So I went immediately out and reshot it and cut it in myself. But he did an excellent job.
I did that
in that video, by the way.
I shot like because I do my narration. So I pre-cut all my stuff and pre-edit everything. And then I go out to my shop and then I set up my camera and then I do my narrations and I do each step. And I'm like, I like do the intro, whatever. Then I go to the first step and I scroll on my iPad. Okay, here's on the timeline. And I see like, okay, this is what I need to talk about. And I say it. And then as soon as I'm done saying it, I'll scroll to the next thing. Okay, that's what I need to say and say it right. I did the whole thing in a beanie. And then after I fucking got done, I was like, oh, I look like a homeless person. I gotta reshoot the whole thing.
And beard.
Yeah, it was when I had a long beard. I was like, oh, I look homeless. Oh, I gotta redo the whole thing. That's cool. So I spent another 30 minutes reshooting the thing with a hat. And I was like, that's the last time I'll never wear a hat. Like I'm gonna wear a hat every single time now.
That's awesome.
I almost reshot it when I had the mustache, and I was like, you know what? This mustache needs to stay forever. I need evidence on the mustache.
I usually, and I've learned that I don't need to do this, especially like in that video. So my intros and outros, I'll usually shoot after the video is done, like everything's completed, which for me can be midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., in my shop, getting stuff done and filming it. And I finally get done and I'm trying to get it done in a good amount of time. And then by that time I'm wiped and I'm exhausted and I have no energy. And you can really, really tell that on camera when you're trying to talk to the camera. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it was in that cigar ashtray one. I was sitting there, I was incredibly tired after doing all that. And I look like death on a cracker trying to sit there and like get people excited about watching this video on making an ashtray that nobody probably is going to make.
I hate when you're doing a video, you're like, this is going to get 300 views.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and it's just like depressing because you're putting a lot of time into it. But you're like,
really glad I spent 15 hours doing this.
Yep. Yeah. You got to do it. Yeah.
I knew, like, I know, and I always knew like that wasn't going to get a bunch of views. There's not a whole lot of people out there looking to make ashtrays. There's some people, and I got a lot of people on Instagram ask me about them. And I actually had a few people asking me like to buy them and stuff.
Wow.
Sorry.
Please go watch the YouTube video.
Yeah, if you're watching a YouTube video, you know how distracted.
I did in the first podcast and no one said anything. I was like,
I'll be honest, I don't pay attention to you that much.
I was like, seems weird. But whatever.
Jesse's over eating cherries. Out of his old fashioned, so it makes it a little better. But
that's 3 down, everybody. 3 down. We're feeling good. Feeling a little more loose than the first podcast.
Anyway, I've lost track of where we were.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I feel the same. I hate like there's certain videos you put a lot of time into, and are gonna get nothing. But then I've also seen that like some of those videos. So sorry, that was my dog moaning. Sorry. I also have noticed that like some of those videos get the most engagement when it comes to messages. Like it's very specific, but I get a ton of people saying, "Oh, thank you so much for showing this. If I didn't like, I was looking for this specific, very specific video, and if you like, I looked all over for it. I finally found yours, and it helped me so much." And some of the bigger videos get a lot more views, a lot more traction, but I don't get those same messages. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I got a couple comments like that when I did the video on my saw stop, just how to switch over to a dado stack and the different cartridges you have to have and everything. I had like a few people that were like, "Thank you for making this. I can't find this anywhere," but it also has like 1,000 views.
Yeah, isn't it weird? Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's just like those videos that you look up when you're trying to fix your lawnmower, and it's like super specific to like that lawnmower, and somebody made a video on it, and you're like,
that lawnmower.
Dude, there's 200 views in this video, but I appreciate every bit of it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of hard because you have to keep your mindset that like, listen, it might not have 1 million views or even 100,000 views or even 10,000 views, but it's probably helping one person. If it helps one person, then you're fine. Like I think the moment you start realizing, because I went through this phase, I think all of us did. I think everybody that grows on social media does, where you start focusing on the views and the followers so much that it actually ends up hindering your content a lot, because you're just like, okay, this blew up, I'm gonna do the exact same thing this did, and then you get stuck in doing epoxy videos for about 6 months, and then it's like that's all.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like, it's like you do that because I was in the same thing. You did that. Do you remember getting the coaster silicone and you pour in the who was it? It was you, right, Brandon? And you did the Brandon. Yeah, and you did the coasters, and then I got the coasters. Yeah, I got this coaster silicone things too, and I poured them, and it blew up. And I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna do these again." And then I did them 3 more times, and they were super successful. But then every time I do anything besides that, it flopped, and I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't do these anymore, because this is not the way to go about views, unless you just want to be a repost site, which that nobody wants to be that."
No.
So
basically on my YouTube channel and on my builds, if I'm doing something where I'm explaining like the dado stack video that I did or the drawer video that I did, I'm usually doing that for other people. Like that, I'll share this knowledge or whatever. If I'm building something, that's for me. Like the ashtray, I wanted an ashtray, but I'm not going to build something and not film it. Exactly. You know what I mean? So this bourbon flight that I just completed too, that I'm working on the video on right now, same thing. I just wanted one. I thought it'd be cool to have in my office, and I had the glasses over there, so I wanted to put it up in here. So I made it. I don't think that it's going to be a super successful video. So most of the time when I do build videos, usually that build's just for me, but I'm not going to build something and throw it up. I have no like prior knowledge to, or am I ever thinking like, this is it, this is going to be the one. Those are usually the other ones, like the information videos and stuff.
You know what you talking about doing, like, well, I've done some videos. I do quite a bit of project I don't actually film. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys do,
especially recently.
Yeah, like I actually do. There's a lot of videos or a lot of projects I'm doing, like, you know what? I don't want to spend the time filming this. So I'm just going to,
I don't think it's going to do very well, or I don't feel like I can teach it very well.
Yeah. Or it's so insanely specific to your house. Like for me, because I do a lot of house projects where it's like, it's not going to make sense across any other person's house. Like for me, I have this big outdoor patio. I don't know if I've ever showed you guys. I have this big outdoor patio on the back where it's covered. It's really awesome, but the guy did a super crappy job actually doing it. But the all underside's exposed, and this guy hooked up the lights with the thickest freaking cable. It's this big, and he must have got it on. It's like 220 cable for the lights, and between each light he left so much slack that it hangs down between the rafters, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and actually like put a bottom side and do plywood, or it's like that MDF stuff that it has like the texture on it. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but anyway, I'm going to do either or, but I'm going to put plywood and basically seal it up and paint it. So you'll actually see the lights, because right now you just see the box lights in between the rafters, and then you see this big ass cord hanging down low. It's really ugly. So, I'm going to go through and do all that, and it's going to take like, I don't know, probably 20 sheets of plywood to do. And why would I film that? It doesn't make any sense. Nobody else is going to use that. It's uber specific. But what's kind of nice about it is like I can get it done in 2 days.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about filming or anything like that. And it's different now that Sam's here too, because he can film it. But I don't want to film that. It doesn't make sense, and nobody's going to get anything from it.
Yeah,
that's really the same thing with these.
Like,
it's the same thing with these built-ins that I'm doing at Brian's. I'm not filming any of that at all. I don't want to. I just want to build them.
How enjoyable is it though?
That's so enjoyable. Yeah. Dude, I'm just knocking stuff out. Me and Brian can talk and hang out, and like, you don't have to worry about the camera or not speaking or moving crap. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you take a break for a minute and do something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like I built the cabinet and shelf in my laundry room, and I was like, I'm not filming this. Like, there's a million cabinet videos. Yeah. It's just a regular cabinet with a shaker doors. Like, there's hundreds of these. Like, I don't need to film this. Plus, I'm not that good at it.
Speaking of cabinets, I gotta get real familiar with the sprayer. I gotta start learning the sprayer.
I feel like you say that every podcast.
I don't say that I need to learn it. I always say that I suck at it.
You say you suck at it and you need to get better.
My wife wants me to paint our kitchen cabinets, and we have a lot of them. So I'm definitely gonna have to like spray all the doors and stuff. So I gotta bust out
a video on it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a full YouTube video on it.
I feel like Jason Bent did that.
Really?
Well, I know he painted his kitchen cabinets, but I can't remember if he made a video or not.
Yeah, way to plagiarize. Come on, dude.
I had no idea that he did.
I was kidding.
But I'm definitely going to watch it and see how he did.
He's the only one that's ever put out a YouTube video painting cabinets. Okay,
right?
Ever? Yeah. No, I'm going to redo every cabinet door that I have, because it's this really old, ugly style, and I want it to be shaker style, kind of new.
It's like the oldest style ever.
Yeah, but it's clean and it goes with our house.
These ones are
shaker style, new.
No.
From Amish country.
No, but it's as fresh, clean, minimal style drawers and faces that you can do. I love shaker style, but this one is like every drawer is literally just like a quarter round on each end, and that's all it is. And then the doors are as ugly as can be, and it's as standard as like 1990s can be.
Have you noticed that most drawers are not shaker style though, even though the cabinet doors are?
They just flat.
Yeah, slabs, because they're once you get down to a certain size, like and you keep the face frame, or not the face frame, but the stiles and rails the same, then your panel ends up being like nothing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna make basically mini shaker style drawers. For those drawers, like I got all the cabinets that I'm gonna do shaker style, and then for the drawers, I'm gonna make it very thin so it matches, but it'll be the same style. That's what I want to do, because I hate the drawers. The quarter round just all over. What do you mean?
Well, like, how are you gonna attach them to the drawer if your panel's floating?
No, I haven't even gone through how I'm going to do it.
This is why we do the podcast.
Well, for me, I'm just going
right now.
I'm just going to make the drawer and then just attach it from the edge on the side. If I have to, I'll just drill it through there. I don't know. I haven't really gone through it yet. Dude, I have so many other projects to do that it's like on the back burner. But that's what I'd like to do, is make the drawer something.
I mean, you could do like a faux one.
Yeah, or that's fine. But like for me, I haven't dived into exactly what I want to do for the kitchen yet. That's like kind of last. Like I'm doing a bathroom remodel probably this next month. I got a work
Better
trip.
film that. That's hot right now.
Yeah, so I'll be doing
Home
that.
remodeling stuff.
Yeah, that's always hot though because everybody wants to redo stuff in their house. So
I was gonna say it's really hard to film, but you have your own videographer now, so guess it's
that's
fine.
true. Yeah,
jackass.
Well, it's still gonna be. I mean, I had to order a new lens because the lens I had is just a prime lens, so you can't zoom in or zoom out.
And you ordered another camera.
That's true too. But like, it's
did you get
really,
a gimbal?
It got a gimbal as well. Yes,
I ordered one today.
Yeah, we bought one similar, but I don't think
I just ordered the one Nick said to. So
yeah, I think I bought one very similar to yours because it's the Ronin as well, the DJI Ronin.
It's probably a more expensive one.
I think it's the slightly upgraded one because my camera is pretty heavy, so I had to get a decent sized one. Yours is, I think, smaller because you just have the Canon SL2, right?
No.
Did you get a new camera?
Yeah, about the RP.
I don't know what that is. Is it Canon?
Yeah, but it's a mirrorless.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
but my GH5 is heavy, so I had to get a bigger one.
Is the mirrorless just a way better camera to shoot video with? Is that why y'all are going to mirrorless?
Sure.
Hold
on, ask Nick.
Yeah. No, it is. It has to do with just the clarity of everything, right? Yeah. There's just less and
things. It's a full frame camera.
Yeah.
So
that's
what you see on the screen is actually what's going to show up. Because I still don't know anything about cameras, but I did notice with my old one that wasn't full frame, I would be in the screen when I'd set up the camera, and then when I'd go inside and put it on my laptop, my head would be cut off. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And then when Nick was like, "Oh, buy this camera, it's full frame," I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
And then I still don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's just basically what it means.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. I bought a also for my camera. I have a monitor that's like this big that goes on top of the cage that I have. Dude,
JP does too,
nice.
Don't you?
I do, but I haven't used it in a very long time because I broke the little mini USB that goes into the camera.
Yeah.
And I take a pair of needle nose and like pull it out of my camera. And they're very delicate because they have to use those little tiny things. And I haven't gotten a new one yet. So I do cord. So I haven't used it in a while. You know what I found weird about using that monitor is trying to level up the screen. Because on my camera, it like if I didn't have that external screen exactly like squared up the way the camera was, it can make it off. Like it made it look funny, like different than what the actual camera was.
Like you're saying, like the top screen was like tilted.
Yeah. So if I take that external screen and I tilt it without tilting the camera, like it doesn't look right on my monitor. Like I can't tell if I have my camera level or not.
So my camera has a leveling system where it has a bar across the screen. So when the camera is slightly angled, it'll tell you, hey, it's slightly angled. And you just have to adjust for the horizon. So it'll always give you horizon mark. So no matter what, even if this top one, which was slightly angled, like when Sam started the other day when we were welding, it was slightly sagging. And he was like, I hate this. He's like, we got to fix this because this is angled, but the horizon mark on the monitors tell me it's straight, which it was. But since this was angled, it was throwing me off. So we had to like adjust it and tighten the screws and stuff. But mine's that mark. So no matter what, when you're doing the display, you can always see if you're level or if you're crooked or whatever. It helps so much though.
I just have the grid lines to go off of, so that's cool.
Makes sense.
I need to upgrade my camera.
What do you have?
I'm still using the Rebel T6i.
I think it's called an iPhone 6 is what I have.
No, it's the Rebel T6i, which has been a great camera, and I love the Wi-Fi function and stuff on it, especially when I was just doing Instagram and photos because I could transfer them wirelessly to my phone.
Yeah.
So it's been a great camera, but one, it's a little bit older technology now. You know, it's probably 5 years old, I guess now, and that kind of technology goes pretty fast.
Yeah, it's pretty old in camera years.
Yeah. And what are you laughing at? Camera
years. It's like microwave minutes. Microwave minutes last way longer than normal minutes. When you're sitting there at the microwave, you're like 2 minutes. And then you sit there, you're like, God, dude, it's been like 5 minutes and it's only been like 30 seconds. Yeah, we all know that's true. That happens.
It's accurate.
But also my audio jack's messed up too. So I've shot several videos where the audio didn't exist.
Oh,
that
and
would
I had to go back
one
and
time,
reshoot.
and I'd be like, "Yep, new camera."
Yeah. I not good. So I got to get that figured out. I'm in the market, so I'll be asking how you guys like y'all's new ones, and I'll definitely be calling Nick Key.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that told me to buy this, so I think it's more of a price range thing. Like, what's your budget? And
I hope he tells me
one for that.
I hope he tells me to buy something slightly different so I can tell you that he likes me more and gave me better advice.
Probably. Yeah. I can tell you that he'll tell you to buy Canon because that's all he ever recommends.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I have Canon and I have Canon lenses, so that's good.
Right. Yeah. That is one good thing because I have like the 50 millimeter lens and I can put it on my new camera because of it.
Yeah. I love that lens. That's the cheapest, but my most favorite lens for taking photographs.
Yeah, I only use it for pictures. I don't use it for video ever.
I've used it for video a little bit, but mainly just pictures. Yeah. If you want to get some good close-up stuff or whatever with the videos, it's really good.
The f-stop's way better or more.
Yeah,
because it's a prime lens.
It's like wait, what did you say?
It's a prime lens.
Means it doesn't zoom in or out. Prime means it's a single focal point.
Yeah.
No, it's cheap on Amazon.
It's like $100.
But
yeah, the prime lenses are way cheaper, but they're actually better for video. Yeah, they're better for video. They're just harder, right? Because like that right now I have a 25 millimeter, but this is getting like way into depth of photography stuff. But mine's like Panasonic shoots in 4/3, which is weird, but it shoots in a 4/3 frame rate, or not frame rate. I don't know. I'm drunk, whatever. And so, but it shoots in 4/3, which means I don't know what it means technically, but what it is like it, even though it says
this is going great, Jesse. Keep going.
Clearly, we should be the ones to
I'm gonna get this. I got this, everybody.
If you guys need to know anything about websites, Bitcoin, or cameras,
that's right. So 25, but my 25 millimeter prime lens is actually closer to, I believe, like a 30 millimeter prime lens for other cameras because mine shoots in 4/3. It's really weird. But the way you can do the focal length, like how you can focus in something and immediately the f-stop like starts blurring out the front and the back, like you can focus in so tightly, is way better for video than like a camera actually zoom in and out, right? That's not a prime lens. At least this is what my rudimentary knowledge of lenses is.
My only prime lens that I have is that 50, and I would have to set my camera up across the street to get my entire shot.
It's so annoying. Having to move everything all the time, not being able to zoom.
Yeah,
sucks.
Oh, that'd be super horrible.
Yeah,
I really like the lens that came on this camera. It's so much better than the one that was on the SL2. Oh my gosh. It has way more ISO settings.
So what camera did you get? The 50D or whatever it is?
No. He said that would have been like a trade-in basically for the same technology that was in my SL2.
Okay.
He said it was like slightly better, but this is the RP, I think is what it's called. It's the Rebel EOS RP, I think.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, well,
it's like
I'm going to be
$1,000 camera basically somewhere in that.
It comes with the lens.
You can get it with the lens or just the body alone.
Okay. Yeah. I'll never turn down a lens.
I recommend the lens. It's awesome.
Well, guys, we have a question, so let's dive into that.
Hey guys, question this week, non-woodworking related, but rather about grilling or smoking. I just picked up a Traeger Ironwood 885, I think, and I was curious. I think a couple of you have Traegers. Do you guys keep another, like a gas grill or a charcoal grill, and use that sometimes too, or do you solely keep the pellet grill? I don't really want to have two, but I was just curious to hear what you guys do. Also, if you have any good suggestions for a first recipe to try, I'd be interested to hear that. Thanks, guys.
All right, Chad. So first off, no, I don't have two grills. I have three. So
But is one of them gas?
Hell no.
That's what he asked. Do you keep a gas?
He said or charcoal.
I'm gonna explain that. Well, I'll take that back. Yes, one of them is.
Wait, hold on. When you went on vacation, did you take your own grill?
No, they had one there. It's
okay, that's
grill.
what I thought. Brittany asked me. She's like, did he really take his Traeger with him to the beach? And I was like, I'm pretty sure they flew, so probably not.
Yeah, we flew. No, they had one there.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, I mean, maybe. You never put it past him.
So I have my Traeger, and then I have a Coleman flat top that is gas. So it's just the flat top. It's just nice grill. So, like I used it last night when searing my steaks, and that's what I've been using a lot for. I'll cook some vegetables on it while I'm grilling or whatever on the Traeger, or I'll use it for searing. It's very small. It's actually a camper style, one. So I'm not going to like cook on it that much. I'm going to basically just cook on my Traeger mostly, but really you can't beat it when it comes to searing and stuff. It's really, really nice and handy to have. It's also really good. I cook breakfast on it a lot. I'll go out there and cook breakfast when it's nice out, with some hash browns and eggs and bacon and stuff on there. Phenomenal. So I like having that out there. And then I gave away my ugly drum smoker to a friend of mine, who uses it all the time, which is awesome. He loves it, and he literally uses it all the time. So I was very glad for it to go to him, but I could not give away my kettle. So I still have my Weber kettle grill as well.
Oh, just a classic charcoal grill.
Yes. Classic charcoal grill, but I smoke on it. I will put all the charcoal over to one side, use the minion method with wood chips, and do long-term smokes on it sometimes, just when I'm really missing something different than the Traeger, when I want to add some more smoke or something like that. So I have 3. My wife loves it.
I have quickly realized you are way more into smoking than either of us. Just you're like way into the different types of stuff. So what I would like to do, one project this year, talking about projects, is an outdoor kitchen.
It is cool though, because we're like 3 tiers.
Phases. Yeah.
I'm a very beginner. You're like mediocre. JP's veteran.
Like way intense, but it's also years on. Let's be honest here. He's got decades. What I would like to do is with one project of tearing out that outdoor kitchen I have, is building a new one, building my smoker into it, and then having a flat top. That's the only other grill I'd like to have. Charcoal would be nice, but I think a flat top's more important to me than a charcoal would be. Because the only thing I'd probably charcoal on would be like maybe chicken, because a lot of the times you can get a crispier outside. It's less rubbery. It's whatever. But the flat top's just nice because you can cook bacon, you can sear, you can do all this stuff. It's really easy to do. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just have those 2 grills, and that's it. But yeah.
I still have a gas grill, and I use it quite often.
Do you really? For what?
Do you?
Just
Why?
to sear on, or what?
I don't know if we can be friends after I tell you.
He's like ribs. I cook my
told
ribs.
I told you this before. I said, unpopular opinion, I like steak better on the gas grill than the smoker.
I disagree.
What?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I like it better.
Why?
I don't know. It just tastes.
Do you have grill marks? Does your steaks have grill marks?
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Fry, sear it.
If you have grill marks on your food, you've done it.
Have you not seen
wrong.
Letterkenny? Grill marks, bud.
Okay. You should never have grill marks on your food. Never.
Well, I do, and it's delicious. But I actually cook my steak, so.
No,
you don't cook them.
You like it burnt? That's gross.
No, I like meat.
Did you see where I pulled that ribeye last night?
Yeah, that's why
I didn't see it.
You.
Wait, is this still
he
on
like
there?
sticks a thermometer and it says 105, and he's like, "Time to sear." And I was like, "When are you gonna finish?" I messaged him. I was like, "When are you gonna finish cooking it?"
Sorry.
Yeah, it was absurd. But no,
Yeah.
I use
It's not absurd.
I like the gas grill for like quick stuff, like hot dogs and burgers. Actually, I tried burgers on the Traeger. I didn't like that either that much. I don't know why.
I would prefer hot dogs in a cast iron skillet, really, with some butter.
Mm-hmm.
That and I use the gas grill to reverse sear. So when like tri-tip gets done, I sear it.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
That's the way you should do the steaks. You should do your steaks the exact same way.
You smoke it until it gets to close to temperature, and then you say, okay, I'm going to sear it, and it's going to go at least 20, 25 more degrees up.
Yeah, and then JP screams at you. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't care.
Pull it now. Good asshole.
You got to pull it and let it rest.
JP said that quite a few times in his.
I did though. Have you noticed? You probably noticed this, and it's just normal practice for you. But have you noticed that, like, when you're smoking something, or even just grilling anything of any type, it gets from like the rest temperature when you first put it on to like 130 or 40, like real quick, and then it seems to take forever to get to like whatever.
That's called the stall period.
Yeah, it has a stall.
Drives me insane. I'm like, all right, it's at like 180 or I don't know, whatever, or chicken for okay.
Sorry, I sneezed.
That was a door slammer.
He just a demon just came out of JP. We just witnessed exorcism. Oh
my! Replace a gasket. Jesus.
My wife swears I'm the loudest sneezer in the entire world.
Well, at least you're not like one of those guys that holds it in. I can't stand that.
I know.
No,
those guys are like, I'm like, God, just let it out. Dude, it's like
buddy of mine,
blow your face off, dude.
Yeah. Buddy of mine was in court one time, and the judge tried to hold a sneeze in, and his eyeball popped out.
Oh, see,
completely
that's what I'm saying.
Completely popped out of the socket, out of his head. No. And they had to like come and like help him and like cup it up and like get him to a. Yeah.
He's like, everybody's free today. I got stuff.
Or he's just like, everybody's guilty, and just the gavel leaves.
It legit happened. This is a really good friend of mine, and he just told me about it. It happened.
It seems logical.
Gross.
Yeah. Don't hold your sneezes in. Let her go.
That's disgusting.
Just really let her rip, baby.
I'm allowed. It
makes me very uncomfortable when people do that.
Yeah, I'd rather hear.
Oh, just stop.
I'm like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I forgot what we were even talking about now.
I don't forget.
Oh,
we're talking about
chicken.
grilling.
Yeah. So like I'll get it to a certain temperature, and then I'm like, all right, I can start everything else. And then it gets done, and I go back out. It's like 10 degrees hotter. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. You got to know most
this.
Like pork stall, the pork, if you're trying to get pork to 200,
160
it usually stalls at 160, and it takes a ton of time. And as soon as they get past that stall, it hits the 170 or whatever. Then you're like, okay, now we're moving. Now I can start working on other stuff because we only have so much more time. But each meat has its own stall period, right?
Is chicken 140? Because it seems like that's about when it stops going up quickly.
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't do chicken a ton.
Accurate.
Pork butts 160 is always it. I always pull mine and wrap them in foil at 160 because at that point, after about 160 degrees, the pores on the meat have closed up and it won't absorb smoke any longer. So you can go ahead and pull it at that point, wrap it aluminum foil and put it back on. It'll help quicken that stall period up a little bit, and you don't have to worry about it absorbing smoke. So go ahead and wrap it up at that point. It'll get it through that period when it comes to like pork butts and stuff.
It made me think of it because I did those short ribs last weekend, which were pretty good. This is the first time I've done ribs without sauce, and they're beef ribs. They're all right. I still think I like them better with sauce, but they're pretty good. But those, like, I was doing, what else? Artichokes and something else. And so artichokes take like half hour to boil or whatever usually. And so I was like, all right, I was supposed to take them off at like 212, I think it said, or 210, something like that. So they got up to like 170, 180, and I was like, all right, about time to put the artichokes in. So I got those in. Half hour later, they're at like 190. I'm like, what happened? So ridiculous. So that makes sense.
Oh,
I know that's a thing now. I didn't even know that.
Also, Chad, back to his question. Great starter recipe he was asking.
Oh, yeah.
Ribs. Ribs are great. That's
what I did my first time. They're amazing. Oh no, I did tri-tip first. I lied.
But you did beef ribs, right?
Yeah, I love beef ribs. I don't like pork ribs that much. I'll eat them. They're okay, but I like
beef ribs
better.
Oh man,
it's like talking
good. Like they're not.
I rarely do beef ribs.
I know.
Anyway, the tried and true pork butt, pork shoulder, Boston butt, as the three terms you can call it.
I still haven't done that. I need to do that.
I always recommend that as the first cook on a smoker when somebody's trying to get used to it because it's easy It feeds a ton of people. It's not really expensive. And it's so good. And I mean, for a long time, I used to make my own injections, and then I would inject it the night before, and then I would make my own rub and rub it down. I would refuse to even buy rub. Yeah, I did it for a long time.
That's a hobby.
And I'm talking like not that I just do that for myself, like cooking one. I've cooked like 14 10-pound butts in a night for church events and stuff. And I did all that myself. Like I made my own everything for it.
Listen, I know it's for church, but did they pay you?
No,
because that's a hell of an offering. You know what I'm saying? 14.
Yeah. Dude, I pulled a camper up in the back. I had 4 smokers rolling at one time and cooked all the way through the night. And you talk about a little bit of pressure because a couple hundred people are coming out there next day, and it's Easter weekend, and yeah.
And you're like,
I did that several times.
You're like, hey, pastor, I know I usually tithe and all, but I'm gonna be skipping the next few months after this because this was a lot of work.
He's just putting in IOUs in the offer plate.
Yeah, that's right.
Up to this.
He's like potluck. A month ago, you remember? You
remember? I remember. You remember?
But so to digress, I learned that it while it does make subtle differences, for the most part, it's not worth it. People out there have perfected rubs, and there's no reason to make your own and do that. The injections, while good, I just don't see the worth in it anymore. I've tried them on both ways. I swore by it for a while, and then I stopped doing it just to see. And I was like, I don't see a giant difference in this. They're still moist. They still taste great. It's awesome. So that's why I say that to say that they're actually really easy. Don't overthink them. Pull them out of the package, rub them suckers down with as much rub as you can put on them, and throw them on the smoker. Got 160 internal, wrap them in foil, and cook them until they get about 200, and then pull them off, wrap them in a towel, put them in a cooler, and don't touch them for 3 hours,
7 hours
minimum. For 3 hours
7
minimum.
hours.
Minimum 3 hours.
To do this, you must get up at 3 a.m.
If you don't need it for 3 hours. He says 3 hours. After 1 hour, it's fine. If you have the time, if you have the time, sure, do it 3 hours.
I'm gonna do mine 6 hours.
What I like to do is plan for like an hour and a half before, and I pull it off, wrap it, and it's like if everyone's there and they're starting to get hungry, as long as it's been an hour, I'll do it before. Or if they're like talking and nobody's ready for food yet, I'll let it go longer. But that's just me. But JP thinks, I'm doing some sort of sin. I would not be invited to JP's church potluck. Let's just say that.
Every one of those rested, by the way.
3 hours.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I cooked all the way through the night and got them done and pull them off, let them all rest.
Yeah. All right. Well,
but anyway, that was my recommendation. Hey, you know what I picked up today?
What'd you pick up?
My dad called me down the street, brisket, $77 brisket, full brisket on sale for $30.
Nice.
Dude, bought 2 of them.
Awesome.
I spent the same amount of money anyway.
Yeah, I know. I was ready to save 0. I saved 0 money because I still spent the exact same amount.
Well, my wife's like, "What'd you go buy?" I was like, "A brisket." Fine.
like two brisket.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about getting that. So also, talking about meat and cooking, I did 30 days meat only.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah. So how did that go?
Did you not totally have diarrhea?
The whole time? The whole time?
No.
Oh yeah.
he says, oh yeah.
It was explosive.
That is not a myth. For me, it was about a week and a half in for about 3 days. 4 days as your body's kind of transitioning.
Here, we're gonna get real graphic. Was it like uber dark? Because I just imagine if you're eating straight meat, it's got to be black. Like you've had babies, like the first 3 days that a baby's born, it's just the black tar.
That's an excellent description.
Was it pretty much the same thing?
It's an excellent description.
Yeah. It's exactly how I knew it would be. Like, it's got to be rough.
It wasn't rough. It was just a couple days. Really, I talked to some people and was reading about it stuff, and a lot of it in those first couple of weeks, and you're kind of feeling bad, is you're used to eating so much gluten and bread and stuff like that your stomach forms. I don't know much on this subject, so I don't sound like an idiot saying something that's wrong, but I guess like
your gut biome's off.
Yeah, basically. And so that when you stop eating all that stuff, it's killing all that crap in there and getting it out, right? And dude, I'm not kidding you. After a couple of weeks, I never felt better. By day 15, 20, into 25, I've never felt better ever. Like in the gym, and like I go to the gym, do an hour CrossFit workout, and I was toast, done. Couldn't even hardly make it through those. Every single workout that I did last month and I've done this month, not only did I do the full hour workout, but I go run minimum a mile and a half afterwards. And just, I feel like I never run out of energy.
So
and
when are we going to see the before and after pics of you shirtless on Instagram, JP?
Oh, that's never going to happen. I didn't take any before afters. I lost 10
out straight.
Yeah,
I lost 10 pounds in 30 days.
But you lost like 8 pounds in the first week, didn't you?
Yeah, I dropped it fast. And then it kind of like fluctuated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, but I'm telling you, at that point I was working out so hard. A lot of it, I think weight wise, I wasn't seeing the weight coming off. But I think I was gaining a lot of muscle too. I'm eating a ton of protein, and I was in the gym 3 and 4 or 5 days a week. And just feeling great. Like I can't understate that enough. Like it was pretty amazing. I'm not recommending this to anybody, consult your doctors or whatever.
Expect black diarrhea.
Yeah. But amazing. So I really didn't stop, Brandon. I felt so good at the end of it. The only thing that I'm doing different now is I'm not avoiding vegetables.
So you're still staying away from carbs?
None of that. Yeah. Beer is the only carb that I have, I guess.
See, that's so weird to me that
quite a bit of carbs.
I'm clearly not against meat, but I feel like you should still eat vegetables too.
Yeah. I don't doubt that.
No, vegetables are definitely not bad for you. Like,
but
I feel like you need both.
But
I don't know.
But also, like,
yeah.
But I mean, if you go get a can of green beans from the store and you throw them in there and you cook the living crap out of them, and you eat them like most people do, then you've cooked all the nutrition, everything out of them anyway.
Dude, they taste so gross. I grew up on that, and then like the other day we were just trying to hurry up. Like she didn't feel good, and I didn't really feel like doing much, so we were just like, I had canned green beans, and I'm like, these are disgusting.
Yeah.
After having like fresh ones or even frozen ones are better than canned.
Yeah, most things are gross.
Yeah. But yeah, so and especially summertime coming, like you're talking about, I'm gonna eat anything fresh vegetable stuff. I'll throw in there for sure. But
fruits,
like I said, I know I'm staying away from fruits.
Fruits because it has a lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Staying away from carbs.
Yeah, but that's like
I think
good sugar, right?
Huh?
It's like the
it is.
Sugar.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of carbs, like bananas. So you could probably have berries, like a small amount of berries and things like that, because there's not a lot of sugar in berries.
Dude, if I couldn't eat watermelon, I would freak out.
But watermelon has a lot.
Watermelon.
And then bananas have a crap ton of sugar, which I love bananas. But if you're trying to stay away from carbs, that's probably one you should avoid.
There's nothing wrong with it. I love fruit stuff too. I think it's healthy to eat as well, but I have to have hard limits when I'm doing stuff like this.
Me too.
Because man, I go down some roads like, I eat an orange and be like, that sweetness tastes really good. And then like eat watermelon and be like, that tastes even better. And they say, I'm hammering 12 Snickers,
Slippery slope.
JP's wife finds him in like the Pop-Tart aisle. He's like, shut up.
I'll pay for him when I'm done.
I'll take all the wrappers.
But yeah, I have to set hard limits on stuff like that when it comes
you
to
have
myself.
more willpower than me. I
No,
say
I'm
I'm
the
going to do
same way.
stuff and then I don't ever do it.
That's what I'm the same way though. Like if my wife and I go through, obviously I think everyone goes through those phases, right? Unless you're very strict, very disciplined, which I admire those people. But like, you go through where you're like, we're just gonna relax or vacation, then you get out of routine. And then you go to, okay, we want to eat healthy. But if you're just like, yeah, we're gonna just eat here, and you don't actually have a plan and you're not strict, you never eat healthier. You maybe eat healthier like once or twice in like a 2-day span, then you just get back to the normal thing. But as soon as you're like, okay, we cannot have carbs, or like we only have 20 grams of carbs every day. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. Then we actually stick to it. And then we'll do it for months and months at a time. But I need to get back on something.
Well,
but
I'm gonna tell you what, if you do a carnivore diet like that, you realize like when you go out to eat, I just brought my lunch every day. I mean, of course, it's awesome for me. I just fire up the smoker, fill that sucker up, and I had 2 or 3 days worth of food. It was awesome. Whatever I could put on there, chicken, beef, awesome. I didn't care, everything. And also let me preface that in 30 days. I just didn't eat ribeye steak every day either. Like I tried to make a conscious, healthy rotation of food, fish, chicken, beef, pork, all the way through. And I tried to eat as little red meat as I could, but I knew also I had to throw some ribeyes and stuff in there because I needed the fat in it as well. So I couldn't eat just lean stuff, just chicken or something.
Is that interesting that you have to have fat to be healthy?
Yeah.
Like
you got to be able to burn something.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that show Alone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, where he's like he gets all concerned because I forget what steals, is it the Badgers or something like that? I can't remember what steals his fat, but he kills the moose, and then he hangs the moose up, and the fat's in this jar, and then they start stealing all his fat. He gets concerned because he's like, dude, I can't just eat the meat. Like I need the fat too to survive, to keep the weight on. It's just interesting. It's crazy. Even on the carnivore diet, you have to do that.
You don't realize how crappy we eat until you do go on a diet like that. I mean, it lasted about 3 days for me, but we were trying to do like an anti-inflammatory diet, which is like real restrictive. And so I'm like trying to eat out at lunch at work, and I'm like, dude, literally can't eat anything. Like a salad with no tomatoes or no dark greens or bell
going
peppers.
Out to eat on all meat diet, you either just be prepared for 2 things. You're going to spend $100 or you're going to starve.
Yeah.
You don't realize, unless like I just eat chicken wings every time I go out anywhere. I'm like, just get
and you don't want to be like, give me a burger patty.
So you weren't super strict with the sauces though, were you?
No.
Okay. So you.
I mean, I figured I was being super strict enough as it was, so
it's gonna have its effect. Like you obviously felt better. So.
Oh yeah.
Why deprive yourself of because barbecue sauce have a ton of sugar in it.
I didn't eat any barbecue sauce, and I I don't eat a lot of barbecue sauce.
So you try to stick to like the oil base more than like the
right.
Yeah.
I rarely use when it comes to like eating meat and stuff like that too. I'm a purist when it comes to that kind of stuff. As like, as you can see in my cooking and whatever else, like, when I cook a steak, the only thing that's going to put on that steak is salt.
Yeah.
And when I eat anything else, like I don't use condiments. I don't use really a lot of, ribs are about the only thing I'm going to put barbecue sauce on. Because I like wet ribs. I don't like dry ribs.
Wait, what about pulled pork? You don't put any barbecue sauce on pulled pork?
No. Pulled pork, if you cook it good enough, it speaks for itself, man.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
What?
Every single pulled pork sandwich I've ever had is already have sauce mixed into it.
Well, I don't eat it on a sandwich.
You literally just eat pulled pork straight. You never put it on a sandwich ever?
No.
Really? Oh, I love pulled pork. I love bread too much.
That's literally the only thing
I'll eat pulled pork
was for.
Trust me, I love bread too.
I'll eat pulled pork plain, but I love it between two pieces of bread. And I'll do the.
It's amazing.
It's the only way I've ever seen it.
Well, and I'll do the thing that everyone says don't do, which is put a piece of cheese on it.
That's why my son loves it. My son loves it like that. Dude, I have to order it for him every time we go somewhere.
It's good though. And then you put cheese with a little bit of coleslaw. Oh, dude.
Coleslaw is disgusting.
Except when it's on a pulled pork sandwich. It's
never good.
It's the only time I ever eat coleslaw is on that pulled pork sandwich. I love it.
You probably put horseradish on French dips too.
No, I don't like horseradish.
Oh, I'll put as much horseradish on anything.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dude, one time I thought I had chicken strips, but I ordered chicken strips and shrimp. And so they sent like horseradish or something, I don't know, or whatever reason I had ranch and horseradish. Well, I didn't think that it was horseradish, and I dipped this chicken strip like a lot into the horseradish, thinking it was ranch. Just about threw up. Not only was it gross, but I was expecting ranch. So you're expecting like a sweet taste, and you get hot, like bitter. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like spit it out, like coughing.
I like horseradish. We went to the beach, spent a week at the beach, and I was like, oh man, how am I gonna do this all meat thing on vacation? Like other people in the house, like
that's rough.
It was the easiest thing ever, and I loved it. Because I bet I ate 4 dozen raw oysters and just tons of fish.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Sounds great.
I wish I was less picky.
You say it sounds gross?
To me? No, I said it sounds great.
Great. I just said gross.
Totally down for that.
Yeah. I really wish I was less picky.
Brandon, would you eat raw oysters?
Fuck no.
I don't know if I've eaten raw oysters, but
I won't even try sushi. Like, get that away.
Really?
Don't even bring it near me.
What?
No, I don't like, dude.
You don't like crab?
That's what I said.
You have got to live a little bit.
I've tried it. I haven't tried sushi, but I don't like fish whatsoever. I've
tried it, but not sushi. I won't try it.
I've tried 10 different kinds of fish. Don't like any of them. They all taste like
crab?
fish, even though people say, oh, don't taste like fish. If you cook it right, you're full of shit. Still tastes like fish. And crab is not a fish.
So, but do you like crab?
Crab's, yeah, it's all right.
Okay, but it's in a lot of sushi. So you take a sushi, like I think a California roll, isn't it crab, avocado,
cooked
and
crab.
seaweed?
I don't like avocado.
You don't like? Oh my god! You don't have like avocado?
No.
Oh my gosh!
You're not human.
I know.
I'm telling you.
And you won't get on planes? God, what is
I don't like mayonnaise, sour cream, guacamole. I don't like any of that.
Oh
crap.
my goodness.
This is my favorite podcast, by the way. Just talk about food and bitching out Brandon the whole time.
God, you're the worst.
Don't worry.
Anyway, we're looking for replacements. Anybody send your resume to contact GBS podcast at Gmail, whatever our long ass email is. We'll look it over.
It's not long. It's contact GBS podcast at gmail.com. That's not long.
All right.
I like shrimp.
At this point, we're just gonna say congratulations.
I am gonna try to smoke lobster though.
I like lamb.
It looks amazing.
Ooh,
I love lamb.
I love lamp. I love lamp.
Loud noises.
You say you want to do what now? Lobster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks delicious.
Yeah, we got to get over the fire cooking on the podcast. Talk about it. Do you see the lobster he just did?
That's what made me want
unbelievable.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Everything he does. I'm just like, I need to try that.
Yeah.
And I look at the effort into it. I'm like, I'll pass.
All right. If you like cooking and like grilling and stuff, and you're listening to the podcast, check out at Over the Fire. Is it over the fire cooking?
Yeah, I think it's just over the fire cooking.
Yeah, on Instagram and all the other good stuff. It's unbelievable. You just be prepared to be hungry all the time, though.
Yeah. I like how JP set it up and then he didn't have the tag ready. Like he's like,
no, I didn't.
Like, if you listen to the podcast, let me tell you real quick. Let me tell you, everyone, pay attention. Over the Fire. Wait, what's the name? What's the name?
Don't know what it is. Hold on.
Yeah, but it's Over the Fire Cooking. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
For a second though, I was like, is it just Over the Fire? But it's not. It's
I've been a big fan of his for a long time.
Derek Wolf. He's got a cookbook coming out next month. I already have it pre-ordered on Amazon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kind of want to buy it.
Yeah.
Probably will buy it actually.
So. He's a local Nashville guy too.
Nice. Yeah, let's have him on. Let's have him on the podcast. That'd be a lot of fun.
Let's do it.
We're already at an hour and 15 for this podcast. This was supposed to be the bonus episode, probably like 30 minutes, and it was longer than the first podcast.
Right. So I will say I had a couple people that were like, "Why don't you guys talk about barbecue anymore?" Because we really
really
that much, yeah.
Oh,
no, don't even tempt me.
All right. Well, here's the beginning of the deep dive into barbecue. I feel like we talked about it for probably half the podcast at least.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
You're welcome, everybody.
Or at least the ones that wanted to hear it.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed both podcasts this week. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Watch the video. It's been more and more entertaining the more and more we go on, and
the more Mullen drinks.
Yeah, it's been a fun night. Make sure that you review us on Apple Podcasts, and leave a review if it's 5 stars. If you're gonna leave a 1 star, we don't want to hear.
Don't leave a review. Just move on.
Just go on. Don't listen.
Do not be honest.
You can leave us subscribe. That's fine, but just move on. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Go build something. He legit looked like a child. Like he looked like a child. He's like, "What's up, guys? I'm here to teach you something." You know?
Yeah. Make a cigar ashtray.